Alright. So the story starts out with 4 people driving back from a Nickelback concert. They enter a very dense forest, and then all of a sudden they hit a bump and their car spins out of control, you know? It tips on its side, runs into a tree, everything. Okay. So, after about 10 minutes of getting out of the car, being all shocked and everything, they're like, man, what did we hit? And then there it is. A stick of celery.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah.
So, and then out of the corner, they all huddle around it, right? And they're like, man, what the heck? This couldn't have been it. And then in the corner of their eye, they see something moving in the bushes. They act real quick. One of them's like, I'll stay back and watch.
I found you guys.
Watch the car. Yeah. Okay, so one of those like, I'll stand back and watch the car.
Kill him if he comes up here, guys.
But
And the other 3 ran into the forest. So the one dude who's stuck, looking for the car, he picks it up and starts twirling it, throwing it up in the air, kicking around a couple times. He's not gonna eat it. It was on the ground, so. Then meanwhile, 3 people lose him in the forest, and they're like, "Oh man!" And then they suddenly realize they're lost. Okay.
okay, I'm coming up on you guys right now.
Emmett Kid.
Going.
Where you going?
Where you going, dude?
Lou. Lou.
Yay, here
Lou,
He's too scared.
Hello.
Hello.
where is he?
Just gonna sit back there.
Oh, there he is.
Continue
Oh,
your
he's
story.
scared. Okay. So, they're like, man, we're lost. But then, they see something on the ground. A stick of celery. So, they go to it and they see another stick of celery. And they look up and more into the distance and there's more celeries. It's like a trail of celeries sticks. So they follow it. So they follow the trail until they reach a really big plant-like tree formation. And then, oh yes, so they're like, okay, so one of us has to figure out what the heck this is. So they play a game of nose goes. So, 1, 2, 3, nose goes. Alright. The last one's like, oh man. So he goes over to the tree, and then all of a sudden, because there's so much peanuts up in the top, that it is so dense that it turned to peanut butter, and it rains peanut butter all over them.
Fantastic.
This is why you were asking us stuff about peanuts earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so anyway, crap. Oh yes, and then the guy was like, "Oh man, I got superpowers. I can see everything. Like I can see where our car is and stuff." And then the 2 guys were like, "Fuck that! I want superpowers too." So then they run towards the tree, and then they start turning into celery sticks. And all of a sudden, they get super sexually attracted to the peanut butter. And have a giant threesome. After that,
So much sense has been made.
after that, they use their superpowers to make their way back to the car. And then the dude isn't there. And then the dude who's the peanut butter, who's got the peanut butter all over him, he suddenly gets visions of celery, and then fields of cauliflower and broccoli, and then he sees a throne. It's like one of those spinny chairs, like it's a spinny chair throne, okay? And then the spinny chair turns, and there he is, the Celery King. with his almighty crown. And he
With the
goes,
best.
I took your friend because he took the celery stick away from the celery stick sacred ground. And then he took it and he spun it in the left direction. And everyone knows that celery grows to the right. So it's like a disgrace to us. So he was like, I'm willing to make a bet with you guys. Not a bet, a deal with you guys. If you trade in your friend for, I will give you your friend back if you eat each other. And they were like, well, fuck that. So they were like, screw him. And then they got back into the car, because, they got superpowers, so they fixed it real quick. And, then they went to the ER to fix themselves, right? And, they go to the ER, and then...
The doctors felt hungry.
No. And then they show up, and then the nurse was like, we've been expecting you. And they're like, what do you mean we've been expecting you? This is the ER. We don't, call for an appointment or anything, right? And then, from behind comes the celery monster, and he's like, I will fix you guys under one condition. You guys have to promise to never eat celery in your life ever again, because it causes diabetes and arachnophobia. And they were like, oh yeah, done deal, dude. And then they turned it back to humans. And then they all lived happily ever after.
Actually,
What is
The end.
happily?
I was reading over my notes.
So
You
you
did not
wrote
make any
happily in
notes.
your notes?
You guys what? I'll take a picture of this.
No, please don't.
No.